Hey, welcome back to another weekly video in my Great Lock-In Spiritual Journey Edition series that I am doing. I'm so excited. This is week 4. So I am now a month in to my spiritual rededication, and I'm so excited about this week because week 4 was a very chill week. And I got to use a lot of my time for more integration practices. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to start off with going over my checklist, my accountability checklist that I created at week 1. And then I will be going into how this week has been looking a little differently. And then at the end, I'm going to go over 7 practices that I am finding is really helping me to ground and kind of reset spiritually during this great lock-in. So be sure to stay until the end because I'm going to be giving 7, I would say, like, tips or strategies that I feel like honestly that you can use as well if you are on a spiritual journey or reset, especially if you're a mom and you find it hard to make time for yourself or find it hard for you to commit to your spiritual practices and just committing to yourself. So make sure you stick around to the end. If you are catching me now at week 4, watch this video to the end and then jump to the beginning so you can kind of get reoriented on what this Great Lock-In Spiritual Journey Edition is. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so I am not in the bathroom again because I have the house to myself. So I get to sit in my living room in peace. It's getting really cold here in Maryland. So I cranked on the heat, but I'm still a little chilly. So I have on my little puffer coat and we're just gonna go ahead and rock this out so we can jump into the goodness. The first thing we're going to do is go over our accountability checklist. And I'm actually happy to report this week because I've been on it. So we're gonna just go down the list really quickly. If you've been here for the other weeks, you already know how this goes. We're gonna make this quick so we can get to the good stuff. So first, waking up at 5 a.m. I have been doing that, even though today I definitely slept in, but I was up at 6. So anyways, we've been getting up before the kids get up. That's the main goal. The main goal as a mom is to get up before your kids get up. So I'm not dragging myself out of bed and then immediately going in mommy mode, getting them ready for school. So I slept in a little bit today. I woke up at 6, but still I was up an hour before they were. So I will put a check there that was accomplished because I did wake up at 5 throughout most of the week. I've definitely been meditating daily, have been moving my body daily. I have been journaling daily. I have been starting my day. I know I had on my list to start my day with tea, but I have been either starting my day with tea, with an electrolyte, or with this green drink. It's like this green powder drink. You've probably seen it before, right? It's like powdered greens and you put it in water and you mix it up. So if not tea, it's either electrolytes or that powdered green drink. So, I mean, it's better than starting my day with coffee. And that's just what I've been trying to avoid. I just want to like make sure my gut health and stuff is good. So I don't want to start my day with coffee. So if not green tea, then the green drink or electrolytes, especially if it's a morning that I'm getting up and I'm getting on the treadmill first thing in the morning, I like to drink my electrolytes. So we're going to still say that's an accomplishment. I've definitely been reading every day. I've been reading a lot, actually. I have been tending to my spiritual environment. I've definitely been drinking my 2 Stanleys or more, actually, a day. And I have been taking my weekly bath. I'm excited about that. And the last one was to check social media once per day, midday. I'm not gonna lie, these analytics on YouTube, I need to stay out of the analytics. I probably need to delete like the YouTube Studio app off my phone, especially because now with this new series, I've been uploading 2 videos a week. So I do my Sunday typical vlog video, and then I've been doing these midweek. So I've been just more so in the analytics. Again, not doom scrolling, but in the analytics, but still I can't just consume myself with YouTube analytics. So I need to just stop it. I need to stop it. So that was the check-in. Okay, so going over my somatic psychotherapy certification, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This is probably gonna be the last time I talk about it, week 4, because, and I think I said this in I probably said this in all the weeks, I'm really not learning anything. A lot of the information I already know. Yeah, so it's just more like a refresher, I guess, which I already knew anyway, because yes, I am a therapist, but I've explained before, I'm a Reiki master, I'm a sound healer, I practice African spirituality, I'm all about the somatics. I'm a certified yoga teacher. I know about the mind, body, spirit connection. I walk and support my clients through somatic healing. I've already been doing that anyway, and just the way that I provide therapy. However, because I am a licensed therapist in Maryland, DC, and Virginia, I have to get 40 hours of CEUs within a year or two, I think. So I'm always looking just for different certifications and stuff to get. And I thought this one sounded really interesting, but honestly, I'm getting bored. I am getting truly bored, but I have to get my CEUs. So from that perspective, I'm thinking that I'm just going to do conferences. I think I'm just going to go to 1 or 2 conferences a year and get my CEUs that way versus trying to take classes or get certifications. So yeah, this is the last time that you are going to hear about my somatic psychotherapy certification. I'm going to just push my way through, even though I'm extremely bored. I paid for it, so I'm just going to push my way through, get my little certification at the end and call it a day. But yeah, I think I'm just going to focus on conferences. I actually have a conference coming up in a couple weeks. That will be featured in my Sunday vlogs that I do. So be on the lookout for that. That's coming soon. So we're done. We're never going to talk about this somatic thing again, unless something profound comes up, then I'll squeeze it in. But if not, we done. All right, so my favorite part of my Great Lock-In Spiritual Journey Edition has been my apprenticeship, which you already know. I am on a 13-week journey and apprenticeship. It's called The Medicine in You, and this apprenticeship is all about finding your medicine or rediscovering your medicine, integrating your medicine in how you are here to show up in the world and just be you and offer your gifts and services, your unique medicine. It's not based in any modality, it's not based in yoga or in Reiki or anything like that. It's more about just tapping into your own internal gifts. So this week actually was our integration week. So we meet face-to-face virtually in a month, 3 times in a month. And then the 4th week of the month, it's our integration week where we don't meet as a group. We have been meeting with our pairs. So it's 8 of us in a group and we're paired off. So we did meet with our partner to just kind of go over and practice some of the things that we've been learning, which was really cool this week. I met with my peer and she got to practice with me. So I was the client, and she was able to use her medicine and her intuition and her gifts and just her spiritual power to help support me, which felt so good, especially as someone that's always holding space for other people. It just felt really good to be held. So I'll be doing hers this week. So I'll probably talk about it next week when I do my week 5 of the Great Lock-In check-in. But yeah, so she was able to hold space for me, which was really, really good. You know, I always come with my notes. I'm not reading off a teleprompter. This is raw. I have my notes here because if I don't have my notes, then I'll forget. Oh, I don't know if I talked about this in the week 3 video. I probably didn't actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But this week we talked about the healer archetypes, which has been new information for me. I knew about the different archetypes, but I never sat with what healer archetype I am. So if you're not familiar with archetypes, how can I explain them? How can I explain an archetype? An archetype is almost like your character, right? Like think of a story and like what character would you play in a story, or what role would you play in a story? Those are like archetypes. I hope I explained that right. So in my spiritual journey and in this apprenticeship, we are learning about like our spiritual archetypes, like the medicine that we hold within us, like what is that archetype? And this week I found that I am the wounded healer, which I'm like, really? I already knew, but I'm like, oh, I really wish I was another one. I wish I was another archetype. But just really quickly, the wounded healer, this is the type of person who transmits their personal pain into their medicine, and their own wounds becomes the pathway for empathy and compassion for other people. And this person's gifts is a deep emotional attunement, ability to sit with others' suffering without judgment, which honestly, that speaks so much to me as a therapist, and that speaks so much to me as a mom. I want to talk on the mom aspect really quickly with being the wounded healer, and especially with two daughters and having gone through my own traumatic experiences in my childhood. That definitely shows up in the way I mother. And in the beginning of motherhood, especially with my 8-year-old, I had postpartum anxiety with her. So I had postpartum anxiety with my first child, and I had postpartum depression with my second child. But with my first one, with the anxiety, I realized that it was my own unhealed childhood trauma that was showing up. Sorry, I have a spa day tomorrow, and that's the spa calling me probably to confirm. I'm going to be vlogging that, so that'll show up on one of my Sunday vlogs. But anyways, so like I was saying, it showed up in the way that I was parenting her, mothering her in the beginning, because I realized that my own unhealed childhood traumas was dictating where I let her go, what I let her eat, who I let around her. Like, I realized that my own wounds showed up in, I would say, more of in a compassionate way of how I mothered her, in a very protective way. And I noticed that also with me being a therapist with my clients. I think just energetically, I draw in clients that have gone through similar life experiences as me, even though, of course, like I don't divulge that in their therapy session, like, oh yeah, me too, girl, that happened to me. Like, that's not my place as a therapist to do that. However, I do find it very interesting that energetically, my clients, I don't know, they're like me. They're reflections of me, right? So then we started talking about the different intuitive abilities that shows up in the wounded healer, and that's the different clairs. If you're not familiar with the clairs, look into the different clairs if that's something that you're interested in looking about. When I think of clairs, I think of intuition, like your intuitive power. How do you receive messages from God or your higher power, whomever you're connected with? How do you hear messages from yourself? So yeah, just very intuitive. So for me, I feel other people's pain and emotions in my body. Sometimes it shows up in my head, my throat, my chest, my belly. Like, that's how I connect. Like, I can feel your experience in my body. Another one is that I know what somebody needs without being told. That's probably one of my strongest gifts. Yeah, like, you don't really have to tell me what it is that you need. Like, I already know that. Like, I can sense what it is that you need. And the last one is I hear guidance, and I receive messages intuitively. And that can sometimes show up as signs. That can mostly show up as like this very strong inner knowing. For those who are familiar with human design, I am a projector. So that might make sense to you if you're into human design. If you're not, if you don't know what it is, but just hearing the word human design sounds intriguing to you and you want to learn more, let me know in the comments and I will do a video maybe on human design, because I am a certified human design reader. But anyways, I'm a projector. So yeah, like I have this very strong inner knowing and I just received messages. So that's what we talked about this week was, yeah, the main healer archetypes, which was so cool. But yeah, but I know in the beginning I was like, man, why do I have to be the wounded healer? And when I sat with myself, it's mainly because what I am to other people, I wish I had that in return. So to like know what people want without them asking, like that's a big one. Like I wish my needs were met in that way. Like I wish other people just knew. Like I wish everybody around me was a mind reader, right? Especially as a mother, like I'm constantly in service and I just wish there was someone to serve me, if I'm being very honest. And what I have learned is to balance selfishness and selflessness, because I am so selfless as a mother, as a wife. And I am now finding that I need to be a little selfish, which is why that spa for tomorrow just called me to confirm my appointment, because I am taking a spa day. Like I'm busting my butt, like trying to just keep everything together, that I just need to take a moment for myself. So that was the biggest reflection, was just getting connected with this healer archetype, seeing how it shows up in my life, and honestly wishing that the healer archetype that I am, that I had for myself. But what I learned from my mentor is that I have to be that for myself. Like, stop waiting around for somebody to come and save you, and save yourself. What you offer others, you need to give to yourself. And that's the biggest part of this whole apprenticeship and about discovering our medicine, is that we have to take the first dose of our medicine first before we give other people our medicine. So yes, this is what I'm here to offer, but before I offer it to you, I gotta make sure that I'm offering my medicine to myself first. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So that was the apprenticeship again. That was kind of like the tail end of a little bit of last week, because this week was a integration week. And what I am noticing is that, almost similar to the somatic certification training, with this apprenticeship, a lot of the stuff I'm going over, I know, right? But it's just been so beautiful to be reminded of my medicine, especially after having my second child and just getting so disconnected from my spirituality, getting so disconnected from my intuition, having postpartum depression, dealing with weight gain, not being healthy, not moving my body. It was just like a year and a half of my life being completely shaken up. So this apprenticeship is just really grounding me. It's reconnecting me. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Like, this is really truly me locking back in to my spiritual journey, to my spiritual practices, and I'm just grateful. So I want to just kind of wrap this video up. As promised, I want to leave you with some takeaways that I have really been sitting with in this integration week. I know in the beginning I went over like my checklist of things that I'm keeping myself accountable for. But sorry, my brain is moving faster than my mouth. I know I went over my checklist that I am keeping myself accountable for, but that's my checklist. I want to actually leave you with something that you can possibly take away and start integrating. And of course, I have my notes because I'm not reading off a teleprompter and I still have mommy brain. So let's dive into some actual action items that you can take with you. Okay, the first one is a digital detox. I don't know if I shared in this series, but I know I certainly shared somewhere in one of my vlogs that I took about a year and a half off of social media and did a complete social media detox. I'm not recommending that you go that extreme. However, I am offering you the invitation to consider having a detox from technology, from social media, and really using this time to reconnect with yourself. So you can just even start with just having like an hour. Like, this is like my fasting from technology hour. Like, no phones, no screens. Like, this is my hour that I cut off all technology. And this is a good way to really block out any external influences and really hear the internal messages within yourself. I truly notice that, like, when I'm not on my phone, looking at social media, looking at videos, scrolling, I'm not in my email, I'm not watching TV, I don't know what's going on in the news. Like, when I just completely detox from technology, that's honestly when I hear God speak to me. That's honestly when I'm able to hear my own internal messages, because I don't have any of those external noise, like that external noise. I don't hear nobody else's voice but mine. So I'm not, again, telling you to take like a detox for a year, a month, a week, or a day even, but just a moment. Let's start with an hour that you just sit with self. Maybe you light a candle, you drink some tea, maybe you journal, but just an hour to block out the external world, especially if you're a mom. Maybe this is like right now, like I'm home alone, my husband is at work, the kids are at school. Like, I can take my hour lunch break to just sit with self. Like, however that looks for you, like, figure out how and when you can detox from technology. So not just social media, I'm talking emails, TV, just technology, period. The second one is to start to practice soft mornings. What does that look like? A soft morning looks like waking up before your household wakes up. So I shared with you that my goal is to wake up 2 hours before my kids wake up. My kids get up at 7. I get up at 5 so I can have 2 hours to myself before I have to be a mom. I'm not saying that you should go that extreme. Maybe even starting with 10 to 15 minutes early, right? Giving yourself a moment to really wake up to the day. Maybe you use this time to pray. Maybe you use this time to stretch. I have a yoga mat actually that's by my bed as a reminder that when I get out the bed to go straight down to my yoga mat and just stretch and like get grounded and just connected to the day. So again, even if it's not waking up hours before your kids wake up or hours before you need to start your day, the goal is to not roll out of bed and immediately go into serving others, right? The goal is to roll out of bed, connect to your body, connect to your mind, connect to your spirit, connect to the day, whatever that connection practice looks for you. Maybe it's taking a shower, right? Maybe you start your day with a hot shower to wake up to the day and connect. However that looks for you, right? So customize it to fit your lifestyle. Thing is to create a sacred space. And this can be whatever it needs to be for you. I don't care how big or small your home is, or even if you're just in a room, creating a space within your living environment that is sacred, that is meditative, that is clean, that is grounding. So maybe that even looks like just a little meditation corner in your room, or maybe you have extra space in your home that's being unused that you can create, a cozy little corner. Maybe you set up some reading, some books. Maybe you set up some candles, like some incense. Just setting up a space where it's not you sitting in your bed. It's not you sitting on your couch. It's not you at your breakfast table, right? But another area where you can tell yourself, when I am in this space, this is my space to do whatever it is. Meditate, read, pray, however that looks. Maybe it's a space in your closet. I don't care where it is, but really honing in on a space within your environment that is like your sacred grounding space. So this next one, I know people feel a little, I feel like there's mixed reviews about this. And I'm only saying this because as a therapist, I've given this suggestion to some of my clients and there's just a mixed bag of interest. But the next thing is journaling, like writing. And I don't know why some people get so hung up on journaling. Like, what do I write? What do I put? There's no right or wrong way of journaling. So in this practice, I invite you to just write out your thoughts. Like, write out the things that are weighing heavy on your mind. Write out the things you're grateful for. Write out your goals. Like, whatever it is, just get in the habit of writing. Like, there is something so healing about a pen to pad, right? Like, so I want to leave it there because I know journaling is such a touchy subject, but getting out of your head. And if you need journal prompts, like Google, use ChatGPT, like go on Amazon. They have journal prompt journals, like they actually have prompts in them. If you feel like I don't know what to say, I don't know what to write, and you need to be prompted, use journal prompts. If not, just allow your brain, your mind to flow onto the pad. The next one is affirmations. And I know some people are like, really? Affirmations? Like, yes, affirmations. I look at affirmations as like, you know, the love languages. I think there's what, like 7 love languages or something like that. And there's the words of affirmation one. And it's just all about, I feel like speaking life over yourself and speaking truth over yourself, speaking power over yourself. So getting in the practice of saying a daily affirmation to yourself. I actually have, and I want to share with you some affirmation cards that I designed. I'll try to get some better B-roll of this so that you can see these cards. And I'll also link them in the description below as well. But I created these beautiful affirmation cards. And this is a good way, because I know some people are like, well, I don't know what affirmations, I don't know what I should say. So these affirmation cards, all you literally have to do is shuffle them up and pull a card. And on the back of the card is a affirmation. So this one, for example, is the affirmation ambition. I use the power of my ego as a stepping stool to help me see the extent of my goals. I am reminded that I must check my ego to ensure it does not lead me in the state of fear or lack when pursuing material resources. So just a little affirmation. This other one, let's see. When shifts happen in my life, I look at them as opportunities to shift into greater. I am reminded to not allow temporary changes to shift me from my core vision and desires. Right? And this one is about embracing change and revolution. So I'll link these in the description below. This was a passion project for me because these cards are not just affirmation cards, but they're also connected to human design as well. So, and the chakras. So check these out. These again are linked in the description. If you feel like, you need a little inspiration in your affirmations, I'll be sure to link these. So check them out. Okay, so the next one is to get into a hobby. Like, especially if you're a mom, like what is it that you used to enjoy doing before you became a mom? Like, was it painting? Maybe it's a dance class. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's trying different recipes, like whatever it is, but getting connected to a hobby, like doing some things out of enjoyment. Like, yeah, other than being a mother, what do you do for fun, right? Like what brings you joy outside of motherhood? Getting into some fun activities. And again, thinking back to what were those fun things you did before you became a mom? And trying to do those at least once a week, maybe once every other week, at least once a month, like really getting into something that You don't need anybody to do with you. Like, it's not one of those things like, well, if so-and-so doesn't go, then I guess I can't do this thing. Like, no, like, leave them kids behind and go and do that thing, whatever that thing is. The last and final one, and this one is something that I have been practicing lately, which is actually what I'm doing right now. And that is using your voice. So remember earlier I talked about journaling, how like some people are like, I don't feel like writing, I don't know about journaling. I find that those people sometimes connect more with voice notes. So I've honestly just been using my YouTube platform. It's almost like my video diary or my voice diary, like to just be myself and just get things out, just like what I'm doing in this video now. So I want you to try that. If maybe journaling isn't your thing, writing isn't your thing, using your phone to record voice memos, like creating a video diary or a voice diary, a voice note to get the vocal out. I know some people writing is more healing, but for others, vocal is more of a healing mechanism. So yeah, let's give that a try. Maybe on your drive, if you have a long drive to or from work or picking up the kids or whatever, maybe you use that as an opportunity as you're driving just to hit record on your phone and just get everything out verbally. So I hope out of those 7 things, there were at least 1 or 2 things, or maybe all things that you were able to walk away with, to start practicing. I am so curious to know. Let me know in the comments which one you felt most connected to, which one you're going to give a try. And if this video was helpful for you, make sure you subscribe to my channel, especially if this is like your 2nd or 3rd time watching me here on YouTube and you have not subscribed. Be sure to subscribe, turn the bell notifications on so that you know when I upload a new video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And as always, share the love, share my videos, share my channels, share my channel with other folks that you feel would find value in what I am sharing here on YouTube. And until next time, be well, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.